Mod time is here for Thursday, April 24th, and today we got 26 mods to take a look at. All platforms got 25 new and 1 update, and that is it. Short and sweet and to the point. Check the timestamps so you can find which mod you want to see first. Otherwise, let's jump right in. Starting off today, we have a new map for all platforms, Sunshine Forest from Carl TG. The map includes a general sell point and a vehicle shop, and all in-game products can be sold at the sell point. It's got the wood crane from Pöttinger, 6 forestry areas with spruce, pine, and birch trees, and 2 peat fields, as well as a small yard for your machinery. As you can tell, this is a big logging style map where you can kind of clear it out and then do whatever you want to with it. On the map here, you can see we've got a couple different areas that we've got marked off. As far as areas that we own in New Farmer Mode, you get the whole bottom right-hand side. That is all one area. Now, I will tell you this as well. That is peat. Those are peat fields. So you're going to be rocking and rolling with those. Additionally, the peat equipment is a required mod for this. So it's up there. Here's your main farmland, nice and simple, and it also gives you a lot of extra room to grow, and it gives you some space to put whatever you want down and, well, grow however you want. We've gone over the peat equipment before in previous videos. However, you take the Production Miller 9M, you go over all your peat areas to bring it out of the ground, then you go over with your dryer, then the ridger, then you pick it all up with the JMK, and all of that comes as standard, and here are your peat fields. For other areas that can be purchased, they're really not that expensive. Around $100,000, $150,000, $176,000 right through there. So there's also areas that are a little bit cheaper. So you'll be able to just kind of go through, find what works best for you right now, and move forward. Here is your crop calendar if you wanted to take a look at that. And yes, peat does have a harvesting and planting time. No animals on the map. If we go down to production chains which are available, we do have the lumber mill which is available. However, there is nothing in owned. And we'll go down through here real quick with all of the pieces of equipment that are in New Farmer Mode. And it may only be one, but here is your required mod. Next up, we have the flatbed service truck from Mack Trucker 921. This has got multiple different customization options, including a flatbed service truck snowplow. So we do have a snowplow set up for that as well, which is great news. Now, let's go over the bed configurations. Some are similar, some are different. We've got the pickup truck body bed, and then you can add 2 gooseneck options on the inside. Then we have the flatbed, which also has both of these gooseneck options. Add the fuel tank in there as well, which is nice. 2,000 liters for fuel, so that is cool. We will also talk about the fuel tank here in a second because can be a little finicky, so hopefully it'll help you guys out. As you can see, we've got multiple different setups there, and I think that's where the gooseneck options end because now we just get into the logging setup. However, I will say the version with the flatbed and the fuel is the one that we're going to talk about because that's the one that's a little bit different than the rest. Engine options, you have a standard gas with 262 horsepower and a turbo diesel with 660 horsepower. Yeah, you know which one we're going with. A couple different wheel brands to choose from, including Continental, Lizard, and Väderstad, which is very cool. Now, if you want the snowplow, this is also where this is going to be attached to. So if you want to run a snowplow, make sure that you go into one of these wheel brands and go over to the very end with the snowplow setup. Then we have different exhaust types. We start off with either a standard or stacked trailer hitch around towards the back. We have a rear bar hitch or a rear pin hitch, so you'll be able to hook this up to multiple different trailers. Mirror configurations, you can make them wide if you want or not. And then we've even got a brush guard or the front. As you can see, that does work with that. Light bar options for the top, there are multiple. So you've got the amber, you've got the red, the blue, we have a purple, and even pink, not to mention green and white. However, then they start mixing up a little bit. So you've got the amber and white, the red and blue, the red, white, and blue, pink and purple, green and white, blue and white, or nada. So yes, you can turn this into a bit of a police car if you really wanted to. So we're going to go with the red, white, and blue there. Then you have corner strobes. These are going to be on the front corners and the back corners as well. And these are the same. So if you wanted these to all be blue, you could do that. One of the nice things is whenever it starts to go into the mixed colors, they're actually where they're supposed to be, which is great news with the red and the blue on the appropriate sides. Now, I like the blue and white on those. Being from North Carolina, our police usually just do blue and white anyway, but nonetheless. Then we have multiple different color options. You can see there are a bunch of them. So you've got colors for the main, the brush guard, the bumpers and grille, the interior, the seat trim, the flatbed color, the flatbed deck color, as well as the fuel tank color, and the snowplow lift, and the rims. So much going on through there. And one of the coolest things is, we got green too, which you guessed it, is toothpaste tractor. As for your snowplow, it has a 3.2 meter working width. It'll do it at 24 miles an hour, though there is also some things to know about this. As far as colors, you got your main, the mold board, and the chassis. All right, let's check this bad boy out. Let's turn it on. It is a little bit loud, so I will give it that. Another thing is the strobe lights are absolutely insane, so I'm going to turn the strobes on real quick, so if you have issues with those, look away for just a few seconds, and now... And we're on, and as you can see, we've got the strobes in the corners, around towards the outside, and all of those work as beacons, and now I have turned them off. So, if you were looking away, feel free to look back. All right, so now's when we need to talk about this fuel thing. So, this only refills from the tank hose side, so it doesn't refuel from this side, only on this side. And note, to fill the flatbed fuel tank, the truck may need to be pulled forward and back slightly for the trigger in game to recognize that it's not the truck and it's actually the tank that you want to refuel. Also, the snowplow could be moved up and down, side to side, all of that, and they do say that it is made to remove the maximum amount of snow that the game can produce in one pass. However, they do recommend to keep the speed below 25 miles per hour or 40 kilometers per hour. It'll do it faster. They just recommend that you don't. One other thing you may be happy to hear, pun intended, is the sounds are custom recorded sounds. That sounds pretty cool. Haha, got you again. There was one other thing, but I can't figure out what this is. It says to fold the stock gas or unfold stock gas, but I don't have the stock gas. And let's see what happens if we get one of those. Got it. Figured it out. It's not just stock gas. It is just the rear thing there. So the buttons are still there, looks like on the flatbed, but that's not going to do nothing. There you go. Pretty cool. All right, let's move on. Next is a pretty neat one. This is the Barn Find John Deere 710 from Dogface. And in small tractors, and it costs you about $7,500. Now, we have seen this tractor before, but not like this, and I am digging the rusty livery on here, which, by the way, yes, can be removed. As far as everything else, we do have options for the wide tires in the back or a standard set. Safety frame can be added on the back, and we can even add working lights to those. And then we have a front weight setup between 100 and 200 kg. So there's that as well. Man, this is a pretty small tractor. Those weights are huge. There's even color options for everything. So I'm going to take the rust off just to show you these color options. So we can jump over to a standard John Deere green, and something else may feel like it's missing. It's because the wheels are not John Deere yellow. So you can swap that over if you want. And here's what that rust is going to look like. And there is a seat option as well, so you can change that up. But that's not all. There's also a bunch of other colors that the monitor has added, so you are able to just kind of go through and find what you like. I will say this as well. It looks like we've got some different setups for colors here. Massey Ferguson red. What is the difference between all of these? I feel like they're kind of in there twice, but maybe that's just me. Are these in here twice? I feel like these are in here twice. Oh no, it is a little bit different. Okay, so here is the pink that is the base game. And then here's what they call lizard pink. So it's a little bit different. It is still showing that it's a glossy material, but it is just, there's something that's just a little bit different. It's a little bit less matte. I didn't know the base game ones were matte. Oh well, there you go. There's your odd comparison against pinks and purples. Now, if you needed a comparison, here is the other John Deere 710 that we've got from Fred Modding. This one was released back in February. And again, based off of the FarmCon mod that we got back in 2022. like 3 years ago. So we still had the wide tire setups. We had fenders, which we don't have on the new one, and colors, although we didn't have the rack on the back, nor did we have the weights. And here's our new one, the barn find one. I did go for a straight up clean John Deere look with one, and then for the other one, I decided to go for a little bit more rusty. I can't remember the color that I used for the rims on this one. I think they were like JCB or something. I tried to make it just a little bit darker yellow, but couldn't quite get it right. So you may have to run a custom color or something through there. But still, pretty darn cool. Sounds great. Everything's awesome. No options, but of course everything works. Can't say nothing bad about it. Did I just kickstart that? That's awesome. Guess the only thing I need to do is take these license plates off here. They just look weird on there. Moving on, we have a pack of Fendts. This is the Fendt Favorit series. This includes the 800 Turbo Shift LSE, which was made between 93 and 97. The Favorit 800 Turbo Shift, which was made between 97 and 2002. And the Favorit 900 Vario, which is made between 97 and 2000. As for customization, I just want to let you know that all of these are going to have very similar customization. You've got exhaust cover, reversing device, mirrors, beacon lights, GPS system. You've also got wheel weights, back fenders, license plate position, front PTO, LED configuration, warning signs, reflectors, but there is one that the Turbo Shift LSE has that the others do not, and that is front hubs. So since this one has more customization than the rest, this is the one we're going to customize. Before we do that, there's also different engines. Our 800 Turbo Shift is between 165 and 230 horsepower. On our 800 Turbo Shift, between 170 and 230. And on the 900 between 170 and 260. And it does look like all of these will go 31 miles an hour. However, that is going to determine on which engine you go for, because we have a 40 and 50 kilometer option for each of them. So just make sure that you choose whichever one is going to fit your needs the best. As for our wheel brands, we do have a nice set of Trelleborgs, Michelin, Väderstad, Continental, Midas, BKT, and a Nokian tire. We also have big chunky boy duals, which I absolutely love. Of course, we have that reverse driving position, which could be added. Wheel weights, which is nice to see as a separate option away from the wheels themselves. Mirrors with a wide angle or default. Beacon lights of left, right, left and antenna, left, right and antenna, left, number 2, left and right, number 2. Goodness gracious, there's so many! Goodness. The GPS system, you can either throw in a Lizard GPS system. You can also add the John Deere, but I wouldn't put anything John Deere on a Fendt. It's the wrong green on this one, you know what I mean? Fenders, the back, we have the normal short setup or the normal long. To be fair, there's really not a big difference between the two, but it may be exactly what you're looking for. Also have a nice fade short on there, or fade long, and then normal short and normal long. Faded short and faded long, normal. Okay, I'm going in circles. Warning signs, you can add those if you would like to, like configurations, halogen or LED. Reflectors, a yes or a no. Those are kind of a little bit here, a little bit there. Front PTO, which could be added or removed. And then we get into colors of main, wheel weights, and rim. So if you want to change those wheel weights to black, man, that looks good. Hey, you could do that. All of these will include animations as well for the door, the rear window, and the roof window. And here they are all lined up with each other. Over here on the far left-hand side, you do have the Turbo Shift LSE. In the middle, the regular Turbo Shift, and the 900 on the end. Sizes are pretty standard across the board, but again, you are able to choose whichever one you like the best. Man, I love Fendt. They look so good. Next, we have another Fendt favorite. This one is the 500. It's actually from a different modder, and it's wild to see two of these released on the same day. Well, at least the 800, 900 pack, and then this guy too. Man, Fendt guys, you had a great day today. On this one, we have two options. We have 115 horsepower or 150 horsepower options. That's between the 511C and the 515C. Wheel brands, pretty much everything you would expect. Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Midas, BKT, Väderstad, and a Nokian set. Yes, you have twin wheels on here too. Don't worry. As for front loader options, we do have a quickie and Hauer setup, which is great to see, and we have rim color options. As far as I can tell, there are no animations, so heads up there, although it is a great looking tractor, drives really well, It's a little slow because it does have that power shift transmission in there. But you know what? It's kind of nice that it doesn't just take off on you. This is such an awesome tractor. I'm so happy to see this again. You can tell I'm a bit of a Fendt fanboy. Next, we've got a fun one. This one is the SDF-Group 6C series, but it is more than just a Deutz-Fahr. It is available in a couple different setups from Deutz-Fahr, which is very nice, including that special edition. It's really hard to say no to that special edition, but we also have this available in a Hurleman set, which is super cool, Lamborghini, and the Sammy, or the same, I don't know how to say that. So you have multiple different setups to choose from. Not that I don't want to do the Hurleman or the Lamborghini or the Sammy, but I do want to show the Deutz-Fahr Special Edition. So that's where we'll go with that. 3 engines to choose from. You've got the 6115, 6125, and the 6135. So that's going to be 126, 136, and 143 horsepower. However, it is important to know that these are going to be available with some different transmissions. There we go. Forgot what the words were. So make sure that you find the transmission that fits you best and goes the speed that you want as well. As far as our wheel options go, we have a Trelleborg set, Michelin, Continental, Midas, Väderstad, Nokian, and back in. Yes, we have duals. I got you. Also, the duals do not have the ring around the outside. So there is that. A couple other options here. We have daytime running lights. So those aren't really shown so much. They just, if you go with no, they just don't turn on. And then front loaders are the Quickie and the Hauer setup. Additionally, we do have a front loader here. This is the Quickie Q4M. We'll talk about this here in just a second. Although we can change this up as well. It does have the same setup. So, I mean, can you imagine running like a Lamborghini or a Hurleman, one of these around your farm? I think that would look awesome. Now with this guy, we do have a couple animations, and one of them's really interesting. So let's jump in here, turn everybody on, which looks great. Check this out. So all right, I'll show the second one first. So this one just kind of moves our seat just a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right. Really, it's kind of centered and off to the right a little bit, making looking behind you at your tools and stuff like that, I assume, easier. Then we also have the most insane kneeling animation. Adar's got nothing on this. Check this out. It just keeps going. Hey, look at that. That's pretty sweet. So, very cool, very awesome. I'm sure there's a lot of people that this is going to hit. So definitely check this out if you're interested. I will say this, it does seem like the engine's a little bit loud, but you know what? All the other sounds together, all the little sounds. Let me listen to that. Hey, let's gun it, let go. I don't know what that sound is. Is that the blow-off valve or something? I have no idea. Either way, super cool tractor, and I just love the way that it looks. What is that noise? So a little bit of specs about this machine that I wanted to let you guys know because there's some special things that have been done. So they've got new custom SDF-Group decals, new original engine sounds, detailed and ambient sounds, reworked physics, driving, behavior, realistic engine and gearbox settings, I would have to agree, custom rims, and the rebuilt Quickie Q4M front loader with hydraulic connector. So all of that is going to be set. Now, I don't have the front loader on here. However, it has been redone. Next, we have our ValtraBM. This is from JA Modding and Hulse FS. So you guys that definitely know what they are doing. We have multiple engine options on here. Say multiple, a couple, there's two. 110 or 125 horsepower. We also have a Trelleborg, BKT, Michelin, and Lizard setup. And yes, we have some pretty cool South American setups for the Lizard. So if you were looking forward to those, they do exist, yes. As far as our exhaust pipe, we have a chrome or black option there. Front, we have an underweight weight, a front weight, and underweight, or neither, so you can add those. And then the front loader is going to be a yes or a no. That is a Hauer front loader. So just so you know, I went through a couple mods, but like, wait, is there a front loader that we have in another mod that's supposed to go in this? But it does look like it's going to be fitting the Hauer model. Checking it out in the game, as you would expect, there are no animations on here, so things just kind of are what they are. And we have a similar sound from inside the cabin, or the well, cover, I guess. It's not really a cabin, it's open, but it was pretty sweet. So if you're looking for something like this, Rock and Roll is here. Looking for a bicycle? Well, it's been looking for you too, and I found it. Here it is, the old Soviet bike. We've got a couple different handlebar setups, 1 horsepower, love it, and we have multiple color options. We got frame, fenders, grips, and the leather element color. Change that to yellow? Ah, yeah, we've got a little bag under there too. Now, you know I have to take this out and take it for a little spin. I love two-wheeled vehicles in Farming Simulator. Oh, there's a deer. Go get the deer. Can I catch up to him? Hello, dear. I'm coming to get you. I'm trying to ring the bell, but it won't ring. I was hoping it would go cha-ching, cha-ching. But nada. There is no bell on here to ring. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. Handles pretty well. It's very responsive. I don't feel like it's weebling me and wobbling me all over the place. I mean, there's no suspension, even though I guess the wheel is bouncing around a little bit. Yeah, it's not too shabby. Hey, I wonder if I can get a wheelie off of this thing. Oh, yeah. Check that out, man. That's something I wish I could do in real life, was go backwards on a bike. All right, well, the wheelie didn't work out too well. However, with my wheelie mod, it will work. Hey, so if you're on PC and you got the wheelie mod, works great, man. All right, great job on this one. Next, we have a couple returning mods from previous Farming Simulator games, all from Hispano Modding. The first one is the Väderstad Tempo VTP V8 in the VH2200 seed tank. So the seed tank will hold 2200 liters of seed and solid fertilizer, and our planter will do all of your standard planting crops, all 7 of them. It also holds 696 liters of seed. However, that's exactly why you need the front tank. It also hold fertilizer, I guess, as well. For some reason, I thought this only held seed. Well, there you go. You've got it. We also have multiple color options here as well. So if you're like me, you like things to match. Let's say you want to use it with a John Deere. Well, all we got to do is find our John Deere green there and then change everything else to John Deere yellow. Boom, boom, done. Now it looks like it's supposed to go on a John Deere, doesn't it? I mean, it's pretty cool. And then here's your tank on the front. These will work in tandem together, so you will have a like a hose going down the side of your tractor if you go with this. Boom, boom. There you go. Bob's your uncle. Did I use that right? I think I used that right. And another returner, the Pöttinger Aerosem 3002, as well as the Lion 303. So, what do we have here? Well, we've got a planter that has seed only, 1,250 liters, 165 horsepower required. It's got 3 meter working width and 9 miles an hour, and we can change up the colors. The red, the white, and the yellow can all be changed. Very cool there. Or if you just want to go for this guy, the Power Harrow, or as they've put it, the cultivator, this will rock and roll at 90 horsepower. Something that's always irritated me with Farming Simulator is this Power Harrow is the cultivator, and then this has the cultivator and the seeder on the back, but for some reason, it's not a direct drill. I've never understood it. All right, let's give this bad boy a try and see if everybody works. Can we use it as a direct drill? No, we can't. Even though we've got that Power Harrow down there. It's not just this mod. It's all mods kind of like this. But look at that. That's doing a Power Harrow, and I could seed over top of that. Makes no sense. Am I missing anything here? Please, 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 please let me know. What am I missing? There's no way that I'm doing this wrong, right? It's gotta be a better way. Again, that's not a Hispano modding thing. It's just a Farming Simulator thing. Nonetheless, next is the Alpego Jet M pack. I believe this was added with Farming Simulator. Was it 19 or 22? I know this was in Farming Simulator 20, the mobile version. So this is another seeder. This is going to hold seed, does all your standard seed crops, and then we also have the separate RK300 cultivator, aka the Power Harrow, to go along with it. if you would rather have that instead by itself. Next, we have the Lemken Juwel 8-pack. This is from Wolf X Modding. What up, dude? And we've got multiple options here. So we do have a main color and rim color. Now, the main is not going to be that blue. It is going to be all of the sharers on your plow. And of course, rim colors are rim colors. And we have 4 of them. All of them have the exact same customization option, so you are able to choose what you want. These come in options of 2 meter, 2.5, 3, and 3.5 meters on the plows. And our last tool mod before we get into our placeables, which consumes about half of the mods today, is the oil drum counterweight. This bad boy right here is full of concrete and it weighs 630 kilograms. Brands, interestingly here, is going to be Volvo or Valtra. One of the neat things is, you may have noticed here at the top, this also changes. It doesn't always do this whenever you add livery, so it's more than just a livery. It is branding. Now, would it be nice to see stuff like Case, John Deere, stuff like that? Of course, but Modder didn't make it that way, so that is totally cool. We do have a trailer hitch, which could be added, so you're not sacrificing a trailer hitch when you hook it up, and you've also got color options, so you can literally change this to whatever color you want, and you're good to go. Now, let's jump into placeables. We're going to start with animal pens. The first one is the Sheep Small Barn from Maka. This bad boy right here is going to cost you $5,000. That is it. And it is 0 upkeep per day, which is insane to me. As far as everything else goes, on the bottom right, you may be able to see we can hold 29 sheep. We also have 3,000 liters of food and 1,500 liters of water. And there's no meadow because I did not plant down a meadow, but you can. You certainly can. We can also open this up too. If we come inside, it's just a nice place for storage. So there's not much going on in here. All of your wool spawns outside. So this is just for you. Now, also, if we go around, I don't believe there are any gates in this fence, but you can put your own. So if we were to go in and select this ourselves, so we've got this. If I were to do a little place down, do I want to do my own fence? Yes, I do. And it is going to start from this other side. So if you're wanting to put in a gate, make sure you do that now. Here is probably a very good place to do that, and then you can go on setting up the gate or the fence area yourself. So if we do like that, we're good. And do we want to plant meadow? Sure, absolutely. And there you go. That is how it's all set up and done. And now you've also got an opening here. Do you need it? Absolutely not. But is it cool? Also, yes. Oh yeah. And where do you buy the animals? Totally forgot to show you guys this. Inside here, we open up the door on the other side. Boop. That's where you buy them. Very cool, huh? Very cool indeed. Your other animal pen today is the Old Wooden Barn. Now, it may seem like Old Wooden Barn, that's a barn. Well, it's a cow barn. This one will cost you $110,000 and has a $150 per day surcharge. Surcharge? Yeah, it's a charge. You know what I mean. Through here, kind of interestingly, there is no need for a gate because you could... There's no collisions, so you could just walk right through this stuff if you wanted to. Around towards the back is going to be where your water will go, so make sure you're putting that there. If we swing all the way around, and you can kind of see exactly how all of it lines up. Manure can go over here. If we open this up, boom, through here. Of course, you've got your place for straw to blow in, and even somewhere to buy your animals. 80 of them, in fact, can fit inside of here. Now, if we look at the bottom right-hand corner, we can see 80 animals, 50,000 liters of food, 12,000 liters of water, 35,000 liters of straw. Manure is going to be 20,000. Slurry is going to be 100,000. And manure, again, is 10,000. I'm not exactly sure how double manure works, but you know what? Sign me up. Bam! Yeah. I wonder if one of those manures is supposed to be milk, because milk is right here. You never know. Oh, and by the way, there's no customization, nothing like that whenever you buy it to place it down. It just is what it is. Now for productions, we have something really interesting, the Crawfish Production. This is neat. So it is really meant to be put around where your rice fields are. So rice fields, I guess you're getting crawfish out. I don't know a whole lot about crawfish other than they are delicious. And that's about all I know. So there is that. At least in the mod description, they say that the time to have the season is between March and June, and they say there's a penalty if sold off season. We'll have to take a look at that. As far as everything, this production chain has crawfish broodstock in and crawfish out. So you are going to have 5,000 in, 10,000 liters out, but you are quadrupling the amount of literage that you're putting in. Now, what is the crawfish broodstock? Well, if we go into mods and DLCs, we can buy these. So you can buy 1,000 at a time, and it's basically, I guess, a pallet of crawfish. Whatever broodstock is. You can buy them. They look like frozen crawfish, but nonetheless. So you've got that. When you buy that, you bring it in, drop it off, and then you wait. And then it gives you crawfish at the end of it. It's pretty cool. Now, they say that we get a penalty if we sell off season. So let's find ourselves some crawfish. Yeah, the whole March to June thing is absolutely right. $11,000. And I don't have any price mods installed either. I've turned those off for mod videos recently. That is insane. Plus $1,000 if you sell in November? No, thank you. No, thank you. What do you guys think about this? Crawfish mod? Dude. This might be an insane way to make some money. The other production today is the greenhouse mod from Mad Dog Design. Mad Dog did it up with this one. So this is kind of nice because regardless of which one of these you choose, they are all going to give you the same thing. Just the only difference is what you put in. So you could do things the way that you want without really having to go too wild and crazy. So what am I talking about here? Well, with these greenhouses, there are 3 different ones. We've got one that I've got here on the left-hand side. This one is seeds and water. The one in the middle is seeds, fertilizer, and water. And the one on the right is seeds, manure, and water. So if you have some extra manure, it may not be a bad one to choose. You can actually get rid of the manure a little bit. All of these will have the side film, at least they say side film, which will be hung up in spring, winter, and at night. I'm currently in the winter in the game, even though it's beautiful out, because I have it set to July. Nonetheless, over here we could open this up and see our quantity of seeds. However, said seeds are going to be dumped in this area here, and water could be dumped over here, which will be stored in these barrels. At least it seems like they would be. We can also open up this little guy and go inside. Click this, and it gives us all of our stuff. So this shows you all the differences. Now, as far as I could tell, looking at this, all of the amounts are the same. All of the cycles per month and cost per month are the same. They all look exactly the same, just minus they hold different things. Even down here, if I did water and seeds, it is 4 water, 4 seeds, 4 chili peppers. 4 water, 4 solid fertilizer, 4 seed, 4 chili peppers. 4 manure, 4 water, 4 seeds, 4 chili peppers. So that's what I'm saying. This mod gives you the opportunity to choose which one you want to use, which is nice. Now, I was talking about that little bin right here. It doesn't serve a purpose other than looking in it, but it looks so cool. Look, that's your fertilizer. There's your seeds. That's super cool. If we run over here to this one, jump around, open this up, you can see we've got a little bit of manure in one, a little bit of seeds on the other side. I just find it cool. I think it's neat. And then when you're all set ready to go, there's a massive area on the side where all of your pallets will spawn. If you're curious about what you're going to be making, chili peppers, garlic, lettuce, snap cabbage, spring onion, strawberries, and tomatoes. Next is the Bale and Pallet Storage Pack, and boy oh boy is it full of stuff. Not only do we have the base game barn right here, which could be used as a storage place for 300 pallets and stuff like that inside, there's a lot of buildings in this pack. If we jump in, we go into silos, you're going to find right here, just look for Bale and Pallet Storage Pack. So we've got that. We've also got this barn here. I think there's like, was there 12 in here? 16! Goodness gracious. We're going to be here a hot minute. So there's this building. There is this building. You've also got this building right here, which some of these actually hold a lot more than you would think. This one holds 200 by itself, although I think we've got a few already in that exact same barn size. We got a big one right here. Itty bitty one right here. Even this guy and this guy. Did I mention this guy? I don't think I mentioned this guy. This guy, too, holds 250, believe it or not. This one holds 1,000 inside there. That's crazy, brah. Even this guy, we got the Easy Sheds going on with them. Here's one that is solar paneled out. This guy right here, and I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's all 16. Some of these can be modified. For example, you can see I've got solar panels on my barn, but this one doesn't have it. And some things even have color options. So you're able to go through, find one that you really like, and see if that design has all the stuff that you want it to have. Plus, this is nice because you still get to use this as a barn. Although the capacity is really not that big, I still dig it. I think it's pretty cool. If you've got cattle and you want somewhere for their manure to go, well, we've got something for you right here, the Polish Manure Plates Pack. These are also in silos and come in 2 variants, and both of them hold 2 million liters of manure. Goodness gracious. Next from Schultz Modding, we have their grain elevator. Oh yes, this is a simple selling point taking train wagon crop types. And by train wagon, they mean bulk crop. So anything you put in a normal tipper, that is that. Also, this costs $5,000. It is so cheap. It's not even funny. But I love that they actually turned it into a sell point. So that is great. Yes, this might be the grain elevator from this map, actually, Riverbend Springs. All the doors still open. You can still go upstairs, downstairs. Again, all the doors open. It is fully functional. It just doesn't have all of your collectibles in it like you would be used to. One thing is to note, and Schultz Modding actually hit me up. He said, if you go with this, go at it with speed, and semi-trucks really don't like it too much. Mainly because something like this would have been used really before semi-trucks were used to carting grain or hauling it off. So be aware, be ready, don't go crazy with it like I do. But it is a sell point at the end of the day, so it is for your normal bulk crops. So if you wanted to use this as a sell point, I'm just saying. Ooh, still got a duck to go down there. If you still want to use this, there it is. Plus, I think it looks very cool. Hey, you can put one on any map you want. Ooh, this would look so good on those Michigan maps. Ooh. If you're looking for a shop to put on your farm, but you really don't want to spend money on a really big building, this might be a good option for you. This is the Repair Place. It's from Happy Mole, and it is going to cost you $2,000. No, $1,000. Wow, $1,000. They do say that it's in category factories, but it's not. It's in tools. So just heads up there, the website is incorrect. Yeah, it's just something you put down. You put it inside one of your buildings, you put it outside one of your buildings. Doesn't matter. It's up to you. We're going to end down our new ones with some sheds. First is the Machine and Washing Hall from Pixel Farm and Oscar 8599. As you can see, this is a very, very, very big setup. We have solar panels as well as colors if you want to do those. And we have 2 sides of this. This is kind of interesting. So the Machine and Washing Hall. The machine shed, or the machine is on the left, and the washing hall is on the right. However, you have to go through the door first, and then come in here and open up the garage door. You're not going to be able to open up the garage door from in front of it, so make sure you come to this right here, because you're going to need to be there to open it. Now, this one is just an open hall. That's it. There's nothing crazy going on in here. It's just a hall that is open for you. But if we come over here to this one, again, got to open it up like that. This one is set up to be a washing hall and a place to work on your vehicles. So it does have the drainage grating inside. They also say that it had the hose system in here. However, I don't know why or how, or if it's just roleplay, but it don't work. And then over here, we've got a place for working on your vehicles. The thing about the place for working on your vehicles is the section is very, very large. See that yellow line? Like, it looks like a box. Not the one right above me. Not that guy. But this one that goes all the way around. This whole area here. This whole area from like here over is the workshop. So you can click it from like anywhere inside this box. I think that's pretty neat. I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, there you go. There's your washing and machine haul in tools. Next up, we have the wooden garages and workshops. Now, these are a little bit better to show from the top. There's going to be, 6 buildings in here, something like that. The first one, because it's better if I just show you each one individually, and then we jump in and take a look at them. So this guy right here, as you can see, nothing too wild and crazy going on. But if we go into customization, we can actually change where the door goes. So there's no doors here on the side. But then if we change it up a little bit, like a design 3 here, we could change up which end the door is on. It's just, it's so cool. So you can change up kind of where the windows are and where the doors are. Pretty neat through there. Then we've got basically the same building, just a little bit bigger. Same thing with the door setup. Basically, it's exactly the same. Then if we jump over to this little guy, we could change this up too, although it is going to be the sides which are added, and you can even move those cloths to the left and the right. So this allows you to kind of like add a little ka-chunk right onto the side here. So if I wanted to, I could open it a little bit if I wanted to, but nobody's got to know about it. And it just looks like an addition on the side of the building. I think that's cool. Then we've got a big setup here. This one's more of like a workshop. There is no changing. This one is kind of the same, but in a bit of a different setup. And then this one is the reverse of the one that we just saw, but those are not in customizations. I think because they've got a trigger, but maybe it's just me. So this is going to be the first building that we looked at. So you can see we got some doors there on the side as well as on the end. This version, I've gone for just a straight up barn the whole way through. That was the second one we looked at. Here is your awning. I didn't add any doors to this one, so there's that. Around here, this is the long building. What you got to do is open the door, and then you can come in, and you can close off these areas. There we go. Boop. And now, you can open up. Ha-ha. You can work on your vehicle, too. I think that's pretty cool. If you see any of those doors, that's exactly how they work. Then we've got some massive sliding doors here, so you can move a few things around, fit 4 good-sized tractors in there. And these last 2 buildings are just going to be reverses of each other. So if we open up the big door at the front, we've also got another door on the side, open up there, and then we can open up here, open up the regular door, swing in, click that button there, come over here, click this button here, and it will open up the whole thing for us. Cool, huh? Oh no, that's a wall. Go around it, around the wall, and then this is the same, but just backwards. It's a really cool setup, some really sweet areas. They say that the additional shelters, so these little guys, they say must be placed in free mode. They say leveling and painting the terrain must be done beforehand. Connecting buildings perfectly can be a bit tricky, especially with a controller, and to ensure perfect placement, they recommend that you enable snapping mode and use the rotation in 90-degree steps relative to the map when placing both the main building and the additional shelters. With special care, other orientations are also possible, but can be a little bit more tricky and take a little bit extra time. It's a cool set, man. If you do it the right way, especially with where the openings are and things like that, you could get away with doing a fully modular system here. Pretty cool. Next to last, we have the Green Hall. This one's going to cost you $50,000. We do have shed lights here at the front using the left stick, not the B button. And we even have a door on the back, which is kind of interesting. I'm not used to seeing a door, but hey, easily accessible. You don't have to walk all the way around. No color options, but guess that's why it's called the Green Hall, not the DjGoHam Blue Hall. Last mod today is going to be the shelter, at least new for all platforms. Nothing too wild and crazy here. We do have a little setup here. Turn on our help window and go. We can click it and moves the walls. How neat is that? That is very, very, very cool. Click it again. Clicky click. And it goes underground. Like it was never there. Do 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 do. Very cool. Your only update and last mod of the day is North Frisian version 101. Various decoration errors have been fixed. Changed various farmland borders around the farm so that you can expand the farm without problems. Corrected water level that brought an error message that you should not drive too deep into the water when working in some fields. It changed the name of the wood chip shop previously called grain mill. There are also some other changes, which include the plot with the house on field 68 is now available for purchase. However, a new save game is required to do this. If the plot is not needed, the existing save game can still be used. You could change your clothes on the washing line after purchasing the property. You could sleep at the pavilion in the garden after purchasing the property, and the car in the driveway is removed. Additionally, the AI helper spline on the main road was wrong. The helper now drives on the correct side of the road. Fence near field 9, a little further from the edge of the field. However, a new save game is required for this too. If the plot is not needed, the existing save game can still be used. In the west and east, wind turbines are now available for purchase individually via farmland. However, a new save game is required for this too. If it is not required, an existing save game can still be used. The water plane on cow pasture 250 is available again, and the water lilies in the ditches no longer float. A new save game is not necessarily required for Update 101. However, new save game is recommended to use all of the new features. And there you go. That is it for this one. I hope you enjoyed the mods today. Let me know which one was your favorite. Also, if you missed it, Precision Farming was announced earlier today. It's going to be out on May the 8th, 2025. That is 2 weeks from today. So get hyped. Super excited about Precision Farming. Otherwise, have an awesome day. We'll catch you in the next one.